Good afternoon, it's Holly Miller with Country Road Crafts, and today I'm going to show you guys how to decoupage on a fabric stool that I got from Dollar Tree. Um, so if you guys hang on, thanks for joining me. Hang on, and I'm going to lift up the camera so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So hang tight. Okay, so here is my stool. Move all my stuff out of the way, right? The decoupage medium today I'm going to use is Mod Podge for fabric. You guys can see that. Maybe. There you go. I'm going to have a link in the comment for the Amazon thing so you guys can get if you were wanting to try it out. And today I'm just going to use some sponge little applicators to put it on with. So I'm just going to, I cut it a little bit. I'm going to center this little bird up on the middle here, and I'm going to start decoupaging around. So you can see what I'm doing. I cut it to size. I'm going to have to probably gonna have to take the sanding block and remove the excess. So I'm gonna start on this side here. So give me a second here. Wash Podge open here. And I'm going to just put it just like I was going to be, putting the medium on the actual on a wood or whatever, on my birdhouses or whatever I do with it. I'm going to do a little at a time so it doesn't dry before I get to where I'm going. So I'm going to put a little one, then I'm going to fold it back over and I'm going to smooth it out, just like we do with the others. So this is sticky. So I am going to push this down here, and I may have to do this a different way. May have to get it wet. Let's see. I guess you need to be generous with it. Make sure it's covered. There we go. So I'm going to roll it. See what I'm doing here. Rolling it back so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. Just keep adding it generously. You want it generous. You want to put enough on there. Because what will happen, some of it will soak into the fabric. You want to put a little more. Definitely more than what you put on the wood. Like I said, I got this little stool at Dollar Tree. It was $5. It was in the $5 section in Dollar Tree. And fold it back over. And I'm going to take my felt tip little thing here and I am going to smooth it out. Right? Roll it back and do some more. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to turn it around so you guys can actually see what I'm doing because little piece of paper's in the way. So first I'm just going to put it on the top here. So just get the general amount on the little sponge. And so I'm just putting medium down. And the paper is called Bird Emporium, I think. Emporium. I will put the link to that in the comments so you guys can see what I'm doing. This is an older one, I think. This is one of the first ones I got when I was first joined Recycled Treasures. So I like the birds and I like the flowers. I like the animals. I like all of the stuff. I'm getting ready to place a new order to get the new stuff. Okay. So this is on the top good. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is put it around the sides. And I'm going to lay this on its little side here so you can see what I'm doing. I want to make sure I have it around the edges real good. So I'm going to make sure. And I think what I might have to do is cut it and fold it in. So, kind of like a present. I don't want it overlapping. So, okay. So I am going to do this right here. Okay, so this right here. And then what I'll do is I'll have to cut it so it don't overlap. I don't want it to overlap. I'm sorry, I'm concentrating on this so I won't get on the top. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down. And you see where it's kind of like wanting to fold right there. I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to try to cut that without gluing on it. I'm going to take it right here and I am going to cut here so I can kind of lay it so it doesn't fold. I don't want it to fold. I don't want it to overlap, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I get a generous amount of Decoupage medium on here. And I'm going to going to so see where that overlaps right there? I'm going to take this underneath right here and trim it so it'll fold a little better because I don't want it to overlap. Trying to avoid that. But I want it to be smooth, so it's kind of like wrapping a present, sort of, in a roundabout way. Okay. Take that there and lay it down. Then we'll put this here. Okay. So I'm going to cut this right here. You guys see what I did there? Kind of folded it, and I'm just going to cut the bottom. Okay. You guys see what I'm doing? I'm cutting here. Cutting and trimming the excess. Right? Because it's okay if the sides for me is a little, it doesn't match up 100%. It's going to be okay. And then I'm going to cut this right here. You guys know me and paper have a love-hate relationship because I fight with the excess paper all the time. I know you guys know this. Okay, see? It's nice. Okay. And then you cut that extra right there before I start putting it down. There we go. Just gonna you guys can see what I'm doing here. Make sure it's down good. Generous with the decoupage medium. There we go. There we go. Okay. You can see this right here. I'm going to cut right here. You guys can see what I'm doing. Cutting it a little bit so it lays nice. Okay. Just trying to get the lay nice. Okay. And overlap a little is okay. It isn't going to hurt it. And generous. Make sure you put enough on there. It's got to be generous. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Just going to put this down like this. I'm going to take my little right. I'll come back and get the bottom piece in a second. Okay. And turn it around. Keep going. I'm going to fold it. You guys can see I moved it. You guys, I'm going to fold it right here. Just like a package. Just like a package. Just be careful with your cut lines. And you know what? If you cut too short, just it ain't going to hurt to put a little, little pieces that you've already cut off. If it's too short, just fill it in, or it's not going to hurt to leave it. It's perfectly fine. And is it going to hurt if it overlaps a little? Just don't want a big bulky overlap, Make sure you get enough decoupage, medium. And make sure you get enough down. And I love his little footstool from Dollar Tree. Okay. Right down here. I put enough here, so make sure you're putting enough. Make sure you're getting it down smooth. And if you don't, it's okay. If it has wrinkles, it's going to be fine. My stuff always has wrinkles. Generous amount of decoupage tissue, medium. Oops, sorry guys. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to fold it right here. Right? Going to fold it right here. Little crease. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut right here. Here. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it again here. And I'm going to cut that triangle out there. Let's see, one more time. Right there. And here. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys sew, but it's kind of like sewing. You're trying to sew it so it doesn't leave a big bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like a big fabric, not a pleat, but a big fabric mess. Actually, is what I usually do. I'm not very good sewer. I can try. I try to sew a little bit. So I'm folding it. Just gonna try to get the lay down. This right here might be a little more medium up. It's okay. Okay. Okay, so I'll put this here. Gonna fold it again here. Oops, can you guys see? Sorry. Okay. We're gonna finish this up here. Can you guys see? Hopefully I'm holding it where you guys can see it, where I'm doing. Okay. Okay. And cut that a little bit right there out. And my fingers are rolling on me. There it is. Okay. Okay. There it goes. Okay. This last little bit here. I'm not going to take it out. I'm just going to cut it so it can lay across it. And that's already cut. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to trim off the bottom afterwards. Making sure I have enough medium underneath here. Okay. Generous, generous, generous. Right? And you guys, if you guys have a different way, by all means, this is not the only way to do this. This is my way of doing it. Okay. My husband says sometimes I do it the hard way, but this is my way. This is the way I do it. Okay. I'm going to lay this down on top of this, like this. And I'm going to lay this one down on top of this, like this. Okay. Oops, I got a piece stuck to the top. Look at that beautiful bird, right? And now I'm just going to put a generous amount on the top. And then I'll come back and put another coat to seal it, right? So put a coat on, let it dry for 24 hours or so, and I'll come back. I'll show you my other one here shortly. Just see how that's working. Just make sure you get enough underneath it as you're wrapping it, because if you don't get enough decoupage medium underneath it, it won't stick, right? You definitely want it to stick. And this is just putting a top coat on it. And then I'll come back and seal it. And I will trim off those bottom part of it. Let's see. See what I'm doing here. I'm just going to trim off the bottom. And just, just going to put it around here. I can't put the side now because it's all wet. But I'm just trimming off the edges here on the bottom, and I'm putting decoupage around the edges so it'll seal it down. Or not seal it, but put it down, and then I'll seal it later. Make sure you put enough decoupage medium around it. Trimming off the excess so it won't be hanging all out and junk. You can wrap it around the bottom there if you want. And later on I can paint the legs to match the paper. And it dries clear. It looks white, but it dries clear. It's perfectly fine. Just make sure if you're picking some up that it says dries clear. All right. Trim this up here. So I'm just taking the medium around the edge and just making sure I get it all down. And then I'll come back and seal it when it dries. This is not, I'm just, right now, I'm just trying to get it to here, to the cloth or the fabric. All right. I'm just on the edges just as soon as I do the top. Okay. Now, I think that's it. I'll come back later and I will paint the legs and I will put a top coat on to seal it. And then I think we're done. So I'll just let it dry. I'll pull the other one up here shortly. You guys can see what's going on. Give me a few minutes.